Welcome to Otaku Flashback TV, fellow otakus. I'm your anime guide, and today's story is something truly extraordinary that'll leave you questioning everything you think you know about power and potential. Picture this. You're the weakest student in the most prestigious magic academy. Every single day, your classmates mock you, teachers doubt you, and everyone expects you to fail spectacularly. Your family has sacrificed everything, literally their home and livelihood, just to give you this one chance at becoming a mage. The pressure is crushing, the humiliation is constant, and failure seems inevitable. But here's the twist that changes everything. What if you weren't actually weak at all? What if you possessed not just one, but two of the rarest magical elements in existence? What if the very people laughing at you had no idea they were standing next to someone who could potentially become the most powerful mage in the entire school? So grab your favorite anime snacks, get comfortable, because this recap is going to take you on an emotional roller coaster from start to finish. Don't forget to hit that like button if you're excited, subscribe if you want more incredible anime stories like this one, and ring that notification bell, because trust me, you won't want to miss what happens next in this absolutely mind-blowing tale. Ready to discover the truth behind the Academy's biggest underdog? Let's dive deep into this unforgettable story together. Our story starts with a boy named Mo-fan, who is in his third year of middle school. He's really worried about a big test he has to take. It's not because he's bad at studying, it's because the test is about magic. In this special school, all third-year students need to pass a hard magic test to get into the magic academy they want. Mo-fan explains that he didn't have enough time to study because 3 months ago he was sleeping up in the mountains when a strange old man found him and gave him a special necklace. Now his classmates always pick on him and make jokes about how he'll probably fail the test. They say he's the worst student in their class. We meet another boy named Mu-bai, who is completely different from Mo-fan. Mu-bai is the most popular kid in class and comes from a family that's really good at ice magic. After school, Mu-bai's dad is waiting outside for him. His father has always been very kind and does whatever he can to help his son, but he's worried because Mo-fan's grades are bad and he doesn't have enough points to get into magic school. So his father found him a job as a delivery driver that he could do instead of magic. But Mo-fan begged his father to let him try again and promised he'd study even harder to get into the school. His father tells him not to worry and says he'll do everything possible to help Mo-fan get into magic school. While walking home with his friend, Mo-fan sees his father talking to his boss. This boss is the leader of the Mu family, who are the richest and most powerful people in the city. However, this family has a really mean personality, especially toward Mo-fan's family. In a flashback, we learned that they've known the Mu family for a long time. When Mo-fan was little, he used to spend a lot of time with the daughter of the Mu family. One day, the daughter wanted to run away from her family because she didn't like how they treated people. She snuck out and asked Mo-fan to help her escape, but they got caught by the boss, and he punished Mo-fan's father for helping her. Back in the present, the boss says he'll help with Mo-fan's future and make sure he gets into magic school. But there's a catch. In exchange, Mo-fan's family has to give up their house and property so the boss can turn it into his own land. Mo-fan's father agrees to give up their home just so Mo-fan can have a chance to become a magician. Later, when he tells his son the good news, Mo-fan is super excited about going to magic school. But his father doesn't tell him they had to give up their house. Instead, he lies and says they'll just rent out their house while Mo-fan is at the academy. But Mo-fan knows the truth because he saw his father talking with the boss earlier. The next day, everyone starts their first day at magic school. All the students need to awaken their magical powers. Some students talk about what kind of powers they might get once they go through the awakening process. They say that lightning and fire are the rarest and most powerful abilities you can get. The teacher gives everyone a special badge to wear. Once they get their power, the badge will light up in different colors depending on what element they have. For example, green means wind, red means fire, blue means ice, and gold means light. The other classmates make fun of Mofan for being the only student who didn't pass the entrance exams. Everyone tells him not to be surprised if he can't awaken any powers at all. Each student has to put their hand on a magical stone that will show what elemental power they have. Mubai goes first and gets ice power, just like the rest of his family. Once you get your elemental power, the badge shows stars that represent how strong your ability is. Most people don't start with many stars, but Mubai already has 1 star, showing his ability is pretty strong. The other students take turns using the stone until the teacher calls Mufan's name. The others start laughing and saying he'll probably get the worst element because he failed the exam. Mofan walks up in front of the class and puts his hand on the stone. The others keep laughing because he doesn't know how to use it properly, but the teacher helps him. After some time, nothing happens with Mofan's stone. Then the whole class gets distracted because they hear noise from the classroom next door. A student there just got the purple ability, which is lightning. This is known as one of the rarest abilities along with fire. While everyone leaves the classroom to see what's happening, Mofan closes his eyes and suddenly the stone lights up purple and red at the same time. This means Mofan has both fire and lightning abilities, something that has never happened before. This makes him the most powerful student in the entire school. But nobody saw what happened because they were all distracted by the other student next door who also got lightning power. When they come back, they only see that Mofan got the fire element. The teacher congratulates Mofan, and the other students are really surprised because they all thought he would get the worst element. Mofan starts laughing to himself because he knows he actually got the lightning power too, but everyone thinks he only has fire. 2 months later, all the students learn from their teacher that there are 7 stars total that appear once they're awakened. They need to learn how to control these stars by concentrating really hard. This lets them form something called a star path, which unlocks their full power. The teacher asks Mubai to show everyone how to line up the stars, since he already has 5 stars, making him the highest-ranking student in class. But Mofan only has 1 star. Everyone makes fun of Mofan and laughs because he hasn't made any progress with his element. They all say he's an embarrassment to the rest of the class. But the reason he only has 1 star next to his badge is because it only shows his fire element, not his lightning power. His lightning power is actually already at 6 stars. He still needs to master the 7th star. Later, Mofan finds his sister in the park. His sister can't walk properly and uses a wheelchair. But Mofan notices that some bullies have taken her wheelchair and are making fun of his sister. He goes over to the bullies and asks for the wheelchair back, but they tell him to get lost, or they'll hurt him too, just like his sister. Mofan gets really angry, and at this moment he uses his stars to unlock his full power. He manages to form the star path and activates the 7th star. Mofan uses his lightning ability to attack the bullies, who beg him for mercy and run away in fear. Meanwhile, Mubai visits the boss of the Mu family. They talk about Mubai's 5-star abilities, and the boss is proud of how far he has come. He asks Mubai about Mo-fan, and Mubai says that Mo-fan only has 1 star and is known as the school's worst magician. The boss tells Mubai they need to find a way to get Mo-fan kicked out of class and make him fail his next exam. The next day, Mubai asks the boss how he plans to get Mo-fan expelled from school. The boss shows him a small stone called a magic stone that can absorb energy. They plan to use it to make sure Mo-fan gets worse than a D grade on his next exam. But their plan might not work because Mo-fan has been training his firepower and can now use 5 stars. However, he says it's still not good enough and that his fire energy is too low. So he starts concentrating harder than ever before to prove to the Mu family that he's a worthy magician and deserves to be at the magic school. The day of the exam arrives. The teacher explains that they'll be testing how much more powerful everyone has become over the last couple of months. To test their powers, they'll use a crystal ball that can measure how much power they've gained. The ball will glow, and if it glows the right amount, it means they've become strong enough. All the students line up and start testing their powers. The school's best student, named Mu Ning Shui, is chosen to demonstrate the exam first before the other students take their turn. She uses the crystal, and it shows the power of her ice magic, which shocks all the other students. Everyone starts taking turns using the ball and showing their power levels. Some of them get B grades, and some of them get A grades. Then it's Mubai's turn, and he gets an S grade, which is the highest grade possible. Then Mo-fan's name gets called to test his power. When he gets called up, the boss secretly tells the examiner to put the magic stone under the crystal ball. This will absorb Mo-fan's true power and make him only get a B grade. Mo-fan is suspicious and feels like something is wrong because he's sure his power is much stronger than this. So Mo-fan uses the ball again, and this time he ends up breaking the stone. After seeing Mo-fan's second try, his teacher feels like something was wrong with the crystal. He tells everyone it must be broken, so the inspector changes it. When they change the ball, we finally get to see Mo-fan's real power. As a result, they give him an S grade, too, making his classmates proud of him. He also tells the examiners that he wants to do an optional extra test. This is where he shocks his classmates even more as they get to see his true fire element powers. He's now considered the #1 most powerful student in his class. After that, the Mu family leader, Mu Ji-woo, offers Mo-fan a ring as a symbol of respect for getting an S rating. He asks Mo-fan to forget about their family problems and offers him a job working for the Mu family. But Mo-fan takes this opportunity to tell him that he and his family are terrible people who go around humiliating others just like they did to his father. The teacher tells Mo-fan to calm down and apologize to Mu Ji-woo, but Mo-fan says he won't apologize. He mentions all the bad things the Mu family did to them 3 years ago. The Mu family tells the teacher that Mo-fan should be kicked out for being rude to guests, but the teacher says he can't be expelled just for having an argument unless it went too far. So Mubai challenges Mo-fan to a fight. But then the leader of the Mu family says that Mo-fan will be fighting his adopted son named Yuong. Mo-fan accepts the challenge. However, this fight can only happen in 2 years because they're not old enough yet and the school won't allow it. 2 years later, the new school year begins. The professor welcomes everyone to the elite class, which is only for the top-ranked mages. In this class, students will get special items called magic equipment that will greatly improve their training. The top 4 students in the class get to use this equipment for a whole month. However, the teacher tells Mo-fan that because of his argument with the Mu family, he'll only get to use the equipment for 10 days. But Mo-fan has his own special equipment, the necklace the old man gave him. His teacher, Miss Tong Yu, visits Mo-fan and explains that this necklace is the most powerful magical item, which was thought to be extinct. She tells him that this necklace is a growth type of equipment that absorbs all types of souls and spirits and keeps making his abilities stronger, so he should really treasure it. The students go up into the mountains to meet an army leader for what they think will be basic training. But the army leader actually wants these students to participate in something called the hunting program. In this program, the students will hunt real enemies and test their magic skills in real combat. Mo-fan and the others start completing different tasks until they find a cave. The army leader tells them to go get a bracelet that he lost inside the cave. But there are one-eyed wolves hiding inside. The commander told them it was just a one-eyed wolf inside the cave, but that was a lie. The wolf is actually called a spirit wolf, and it's under orders to go easy on the students to test their skills properly. They all go inside the cave and eventually face the giant wolf. Most of the students are scared, except for Mu-bai, who uses his ice magic, but it doesn't hurt the monster much. Mo-fan quickly helps a girl who is brave enough to step in front of the beast, but Mo-fan knew she wouldn't be able to hurt it, so he gets her out of the cave. But the same girl runs back inside to prove that she's a strong mage. But even her second attempt doesn't hurt the monster, and she's gotten saved just in time by the student with the lightning power. Mu-bai also tries a second time, but gets thrown to the ground. Then Mo-fan enters the cave just in time and tests his magic by activating his stars. He uses his fire element to shoot fireballs at the beast. This unlocks a new level of power called ignition, and now he's at level 2. This shocks the teachers who are watching from above. The commander tells the other teachers that the wolf is no longer listening to his commands and he can't control it anymore. So, the students might be in real danger and they need to go down and save them. The beast was completely out of control, so Mo-fan and his friend, Zhang Zhou, lead the beast deeper into the cave to protect the other students. After they both lead it in, the beast attacks Zhang Zhou and knocks him down. Then, for the first time, Mo-fan combines his fire and lightning abilities to defeat the spirit wolf. After killing the beast, his necklace starts absorbing all the energy from the spirit, making him even more powerful. His teacher tells him he's amazed that a student was able to defeat the wolf, since the spirit wolf is just as strong as a real one-eyed wolf. Since they completed the task, all students get an A grade on the test, all thanks to Mo-fan. But Mo-fan doesn't care about the praise. He's more focused on unlocking his true power. After defeating the beast, he was able to unlock level 2 firepower and realizes how strong it was against the monster. So now he wants to achieve the same level 2 power for his lightning ability too. He remembers everything Miss Tong Yu told him about the necklace. He can use it to absorb many different souls, so he decides to become a hunter to make the necklace even stronger and improve his powers. Mo-fan goes into the city to join a team of hunters. He enters the hunters' hall and asks a stranger how to join the city hunters. The man tells Mo-fan there's a huge waiting list to join and says they won't accept mages who don't have at least firepower. So Mo-fan asks him about lightning power, and the man says he shouldn't lie just to try to join. He should tell the truth. The man doesn't believe Mo-fan really has lightning power and explains that only 1 in 1,000 mages get this element, so Mo-fan leaves while they're talking. The leader of the hunters is tired of all the weak mages who keep applying to join the city hunters. He asks his workers to only bring in people who have experience as hunters. They eventually get to Mo-fan and ask him for his hunter certificate. He says he doesn't have one, so they tell him to get lost. They only want experienced hunters, not beginners. He tells them that he's a lightning power mage, which shocks them because they've never seen a lightning mage in person since they're so rare. They ask him to prove it, and he forms the star path using his lightning ability. He introduces himself as Fan Mo using a fake name. He then meets the leader, who accepts him into the city hunters. The leader explains that they have a mission at a local school where monsters have attacked, but they tell Mo-fan to stay behind since he's only a new member. But he tells them he wants to join them on this mission. Then Mo Fun realizes that the school that was attacked by monsters is his sister's school. So he calls her, and she tells him she's okay, but other students have been taken by the monsters. Mo Fun arrives at the scene and starts investigating. Soon he meets a one-eyed beast that seems quite strong. He fights the beast, and fortunately the rest of the team arrives to help. They show why they're known as the elite group of hunters. That's when the youngest member of the group makes a mistake while using her powers, but thanks to Mo Fun's lightning power, he manages to defeat the beast. The beast gets completely paralyzed, which prevents the girl from getting hurt. They all thank Mo Fun for being there and saving her life, and they accept him as part of the team. Mo Fun starts fitting in well with the group and becomes a respected hunter. Meanwhile, the Mu family has been preparing their strongest male ice mage called Yuang, and he will be the one fighting Mo Fun in their duel. Yuang asks the boss why he chose him to fight Mo Fun, and the boss explains that it's to celebrate Yuang coming of age, and he can invite the whole family to celebrate. At school, his classmate Shu Min asks Mo Fun to meet him after school. She explains that she heard stories about strange things happening at a certain place, and she wanted to investigate the area with the strongest mage in the class. He agrees to help her explore the area. They come across another one-eyed wolf, but this one is different. He tells her this is the real one-eyed wolf that the city hunters have been trying to find all this time. He tells Shu Min that he'll give the location to the rest of his team, but Shu Min already called the police. The wolf hears the sound of the phone ringing and immediately chases them. So Mo Fun does everything he can to fight the monster. However, even after several powerful attacks, he can't seem to kill the beast. That's when a member of the city hunters called Kai Tang arrives from the city. She's an ice mage who is also part of the Mu family. She tells Shu Min about Mo Fun, who's currently fighting the one-eyed wolf, and they quickly rush over to help him just in time to stop the wolf from moving. Kai Tang remembers Mo Fun because she saw him when he was younger. She caught him looking through her window. She then tells Yuang that his name is Mo Fun, that he goes to the magic school, and that he insulted their uncle. Yuang is surprised because this is the first time he's seen Mo Fun, and this is the guy he'll be fighting. When Mo Fun runs away, she calls the city hunters and explains that they've tamed the wolf, but they need Fan Mo's lightning power to paralyze it. When he arrives, he meets all the other hunters who ask him to use his lightning power on the wolf. However, after using his power, the wolf turns red and evolves into something called General Class and becomes even stronger. Some people want to back out and leave since the odds are against them, but the captain insists they should at least try to defeat it since many lives are at risk if they do nothing. This is when they all work together and use their powers with everything they have. They try to contain the beast, which turns out to be very resistant. Even though they are very experienced mages, the wolf keeps getting stronger. After that, they group up together, and Mo Fun decides to use his lightning power to stun the wolf. He manages to hold it still for a while, but this is still no match for the beast since this particular wolf is at a much higher level than him. So now their only hope is this guy who suddenly appears out of nowhere. It's the strongest water mage in Asia, named Mr. Yang. Mr. Yang uses his advanced water element to destroy the beast and praises Mo Fun for being brave enough to fight the one-eyed wolf head-on. Afterwards, Mo Fun absorbs the soul from the wolf and gets a new level of power. Soon, the day of his fight against Yuang gets closer, and the director gives him a little encouragement. But at the same time, he's worried since he doesn't have much confidence that Mo Fun will win. The director tells him the real purpose of this event, the exclusive reward for the winner. They'll get access to the Sacred Spring, a special place where mage skills can be improved dramatically. So now Mo Fun is really excited about winning this contest, but it seems like no one believes in him. He even talks to his childhood friend from the Mu family, and she tells him he better not show up tomorrow because Yuang won't hold back and she doesn't want to see him get hurt. But Mo Fun tells her that Yuang should be the one who's scared because he's fully prepared for tomorrow. He says he's been waiting for this day to fight for his honor and to beat the family that has humiliated his dad for many years. The day of the duel arrives, and Mo Fun goes to the convention center where all the most important people in the city will be watching Yuang's coming-of-age ceremony. All the guests arrive outside, and Mofan approaches Kai Tang, who tells him he shouldn't be walking on the red carpet acting like a VIP guest. Mofan forgot that they don't know him as Fan Mo, who's part of the City Hunters. Mofan came by himself, but some of his friends show up, including his classmates, the army leader from the training program, and his father. They're all here to support him. Even though most of them knew he probably wouldn't win, they came anyway. Both fighters shake hands and the duel begins. They both show incredible power, but because Yuang is part of the Mu family, he has very special magic equipment that lets him move incredibly fast, making it hard for Mofan to land a single hit. Yuang taunts him and says his level 3 ice power is too strong for Mofan's level 2 fire power. He unleashes an ice storm attack on Mofan, so Mofan remembers his training with the City Hunters, where he absorbed the wolf's soul. He aligns the 7th star to release his true fire ability and creates a fireball all around him, which protects him from the ice storm. He then uses a fire explosion to knock down Yuang. However, Yuang gets back up and tells Mofan he's lucky he unlocked his level 3 ability, or a piece of trash like him could never win. He then reveals why he's so strong. He's using specialized body armor. The Mu family leader is surprised they have to use this armor against a nobody like Mofan. Everyone in the crowd says how unfair the match is because Yuang is using the armor. Even the army leader tells Mofan to quit the fight immediately. Yuang tells Mofan that the armor was a gift from his father and says that Mofan's father could never buy him anything like that. He calls Mofan just a poor kid and tells him to quit the duel. But Mofan remembers what his father did for him to get him into magic school. He continues with the duel by unleashing his maximum lightning power and reveals for the first time that he's a double elemental mage. This time he combines both powers and manages to break Yuang's body armor. And there you have it, anime fam, the incredible journey of Mofan, from the Academy's biggest underdog to its most legendary dual-element mage. What an absolutely wild ride that was, right? I have to ask, what was your favorite moment? Was it when Mofan first revealed his lightning powers to save his sister, the epic spirit wolf battle, or that absolutely satisfying final duel where he completely destroyed Yuang's arrogance along with his fancy armor? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. I love hearing what moments hit you the hardest. Speaking of epic moments, this story is just getting started. There's apparently a whole second season waiting for us, and trust me, if it's anything like what we just witnessed, we're in for some serious Magic Academy madness. Should I cover Season 2 next? Let me know by smashing that like button and leaving a comment telling me you want more Mofan content. If you're new to Otaku Flashback TV, welcome to the family. This is exactly the kind of incredible anime storytelling we dive into every single week. We've got hidden gems, popular series, and those amazing underdog stories that just hit different. So make sure you subscribe and ring that notification bell because you definitely don't want to miss out on our next epic recap. And hey, if you know any other anime fans who would absolutely lose their minds over this story, share this video with them. Let's spread the otaku love and build this amazing community together. Until next time, keep that anime passion burning bright. And remember, just like Mofan showed us, never let anyone underestimate your true potential. This has been Otaku Flashback TV, and I'll catch you in the next recap. Peace out, anime lovers!